Yes,
Good
my eyes.
morning,
Yeah, good
James.
morning. My eyes are irritated because I guess it was really windy yesterday or whatever. My eyes were like, so I was on like another call earlier, like, are you Lenny Kravitz? Because my hair is all still curly from the Emmys. I'm like, yeah,
I like the look on you, though. I'm sorry your eyes are irritated. Mine too.
Yes, of
I
course.
have these homeopathic allergy eye drops that I use, and they actually work.
Oh,
So you get them at Target. I can highly recommend them.
okay, good.
I forgot them today, so my eyes are scratchy.
I was like, bad eyes. We need our eyes to see.
We do, and you're kind of blurry right now, so I'll just sip my coffee and.
I'm wearing your color. I'm wearing your color for you. I'm wearing a color for you. My kind of it's kind of purple.
No, it looks more like a deep burgundy. It's
It could be
gorgeous.
magenta. I can't tell color. I can't tell what's going on right now.
They match your eye shade, your eye glasses.
Yeah, it does. It does match
Perfectly.
It does match. That's trend. My breast day. I'm looking at my bra this morning.
Is it your breast? It's your breast day. It's breast day.
It's my breast day. Yes, I'm holding my breast day. I love your hair, of course. As always, love your hair.
Thank you. I do it for you every Monday morning.
I love the hair. Yeah, it's been a very strange weekend for America, for women, for everybody. It was a weird Emmys at first. It was a very strange day to start out with. It's been very, very interesting, right? It's a conversation.
So, okay, there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, let's unpack. This might be an hour-long episode. It's like just do a 1 hour long episode. Like we haven't done one of those in a long time.
Right. Let's though start with the fun stuff. Tell me about the Emmys. Now, did you go to both Emmy shows?
Here's the thing. It's so tied together. It's really I knew you were gonna ask me this. Everybody keeps asking how it was. And I'm like, of course, it was an amazing experience for me. I feel like Sally Field because it was my second time at the Emmys, but I felt like they liked me more. And I was like, you like me, you really like me. But it was tied into the Roe versus Wade stuff. And people had the most amazing, creative ways to show their feelings and their outfits in their earring. It was like really, people showed out, first of all. It was like people came to play. But no, so I didn't go to both. I made a decision. I'm on a reduced work schedule still, as I told you. I'm moving that into July. So I'm not doing any organizing at all. I decided.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing any. I'm just doing focusing on media stuff.
Okay.
And but I was like, do I want 2 weekends in a row of Emmy stuff?
Okay.
I chose no. I said, I'm going to go to the main one. And because they had us jump through so many hoops, which is a good thing for the COVID stuff.
Right.
It was very, I don't have with me. I can show you my press pass to the end.
Ooh, very pretty.
It was very pretty. And then, of course, JLJ Media.
Very exciting.
But they gave us it was pages and pages of what we had. I had to download an app called Clear on my phone, upload my vaccination card, upload my ID, driver's license. It was a lot of steps. Had to get PCR tests 2 days before, but no later than this time period. It was just a lot of stuff that went down, and several of the nominees came up positive right before the ceremony, so they couldn't go. So it's kind of like, so I guess for all of that, it was great, but it was like 10,000 steps to do this. It was a little rough. So I was like, I'm gonna do it just once. I can't do it 2 weeks in a row. I just can't. So I'm glad I made the decision. So I just went to the main Daytime Emmys, and it was really, and I was ready. I wasn't nervous or anything, but you saw my outfit. So I chose at the last minute before all this other stuff went down. I said, I want to make a statement. My purple jacket made a statement 4 years ago, and it went viral. And I said, I got to make a statement again. I said, I have this hair, and I've been using, shout out to Miss Jessie's hair care products.
Oh.
I know the owner.
It looks gorgeous.
I'm in love with it now. I'm like, I've never had curly hair in my life. So I'm like, I have little curls. I have curls.
You do?
It's crazy. I'm like, I have curls, girl. I have curls. I've never had curls in my life. So, and everybody was like, James, we love your hair. I was doing some shows. So I said, well, I guess I'll go with a curly fro kind of. I'll go with the curly hair. I said, well, what can I wear to go with that to kind of have a whole look?
Yeah.
And it was too late for me to go buy suits. I had one suit I was possibly going to wear, which was my rose gold color suit. It's kind of cute, whatever. But wait a
I
minute.
love rose gold.
Those are good. I'm going to save it for something else. Maybe the primetime Emmys, I'll wear it there. But I want to make a statement that I was Black. If you didn't know, I'm Black. I want to make a statement that I was a Black man in the business, and that I'm one of the few Black men who has his own network. And I want to stand out. So I found the thing I married my friends in, the kente cloth jackets, matching pants, had some cute shoes. And I just went and bought a button down black shirt. I said, I'm gonna go no bow tie. So I have a kente cloth bow tie. I said, that'd be too much, I think. And so I'm gonna go that way. And I had my hair curly. And when as soon as I got there, and my coat was billowing and flowy, and people were like, oh my God. I mean, everyone was like, James, your jacket is the bomb. And if so the kids say this, I don't know what this means. I guess that kind of means a little bit like, you're a mood. I'm a mood. Oh my God, thank you. The kids have a mood. All the young kids were smiling at me, and it was like, oh my God, we love your hair, we love your outfit. So the whole red carpet, all the stars were like, we love your jacket. Oh my goodness. I'm like, so it worked. I went viral again. It worked. My outfit. I made 20 different best dressed lists. Apparently, crazy. But I wanted to make a statement, and it's funny. I had no idea that day it would even come more in handy making that statement. But I just wanted to come there and say, I'm a Black man in the business who's successful, who's working it out. I'm growing. I'm building, and I wanted to have something from Mother Africa on me, and that's kind of how that started. So what's that?
Well, you look very handsome in the pictures that I got to see.
Thank you. And
you felt empowered, which means that mood, which is kind of an interesting term.
Yeah, right? I was a vibe, a mood. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I get that. But from vibe to mood, you've got a mood going on. I kind of like that.
Me too.
Thank you, children of the world.
Thank you, kids. Thank you, kidlets. I'm old. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I know, but I'm probably going to use it because it's kind of cool. Why don't we just start doing what the young kids are doing and feel free and happy and
right.
But is really that going on right now? Because when you're at the award ceremony, everybody's pumped and there's just an excitement in the air and everyone's kind of anxious and all of that, and there's so much beauty and grace. People spent time and money, right, to show up and be their best. And on that day, when you got this decision that came down from the Supreme Court, God, that really is kind of a bummer. I mean, really it is, because it affects everybody, this decision. And so I'm interested in learning, like, what do you mean, like, everybody showed up and had something to say? Were they people who, like nominees who won, were they incorporating their belief system in their speeches? Okay.
Yes. So great. Yeah, this is going to be a good discussion. So that morning I went to bed excited, ready for tomorrow. I had my stuff in place. I had a food bag. I had my equipment bag. Everything was ready. I go to sleep. I wake up to 10,000 texts and my phone is pinging. And my co-host, who was with me, Tammy Govey, I'm gonna give her a shout out. She was my partner in every way for JLJ Media. She's one of my hosts in JLJ Media. We worked together. She was like, James, I don't know how I feel right now. And we talked. I said, I support you. And I said, like you said, I said, this is an everybody problem. I don't care if it's just it affects women, but it's an everybody problem. And I went down the rabbit hole for a minute online, of course. Twitter, I get all my news on Twitter. So I was on there and I was looking at and all the actors were reacting online, but they're like, we're still going to the Emmys. Like it's still a day to celebrate our peers. They work very hard, and it's our first award ceremony in person in 3 years. Right. It's on a network. It's on CBS. And like there's all these big things, and it's the 40th annual. So I was like, this whole thing. So, and here in LA, it was already warm. It was already in Pasadena, it was 96 degrees. I'm melting. I was like, it's already warm already. Luckily, we were inside. Luckily, the red carpet this time was inside. Thank God. But the mood, I was reading stuff, and people were like, well, if so-and-so wins, I care to see what she says, or so-and-so wins. And then the Emmys were like, we shouldn't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And I said to my co-host, today of all days, I will not censor any women on the red carpet who want to talk about it.
Okay.
As a man, especially as a man, if I'm like, don't talk about that. I'm not gonna, I felt uncomfortable doing that day. I was like, no, if they want to talk about it, let them talk about it. Shit. I was like, go ahead. I mean, I'm angry also, but I'm not going to censor anybody if they want to bring it up. I will try to ask them questions that are like of the show and of the Emmy nominations, that kind of stuff. But if you want to, I told her I'm not going to censor anybody. She's okay. And I said, I support you, and I'm here. You know, we're going to work this out. You know, I said, I know we're all upset, and then I started reading stuff about Clarence Thomas said we should revisit gay marriage, gay relationships. I'm like, okay, now we're going other directions too now, which I'm not surprised. So that fires me up, of course. And there's a lot that's just being, you know, that they can touch on that I think that, are we going to 1950s? Like, we're going backwards. We'll be like separate bathrooms. We'll be separate. I mean, what's going on here? So it was very scary. For me, it was scary. So I got a little nervous. But it should have been. See, also, I was filming, because I have a Patreon account, Patreon James Lott Jr. So I was filming behind the scenes stuff all week for my Patreon subscribers, my Lotties, they call themselves.
I love that.
The Lotties. We had a vote. They call themselves Lotties. That's my fan base. And so every day it was James's journey to the Daytime Emmies. So every day I gave him a little video. And that morning I was like, I got to continue it. Now it's the day of the Emmys. I have to do a video. So I told him, I told him how I felt, how angry I was, and how I felt, how scared I was, and all this stuff. And I think it made for a good video for them. I think it made something very authentic and real from me. So it's good. But I had to make decisions like that all day long. It was like making decisions like that, kind of like, how should you gauge this? It's a good thing in a way. We got there, and there were actors who had glitter on their chest, and beautiful gown, but it just says, "My rights are my rights." They had in their earrings, and people had wearing specific earrings that had like one says one said my, one said rights. This girl on her shoe it would say that, you know, it's my body, my choice. She had written on her shoe. There was like people had certain. They all came out with some really wonderful outfits, but they were just kind of like sprinkles of, you know, of things in their outfit, in their accessories or in their outfits. It was very clever. It's like, we're just going to have it on here. We're not going to overpower it. We're going to just show you that, you know, we are thinking about it. And the opening of the Emmys, it's on. You can watch it on Hulu or no, Paramount Plus. The female co-host from Entertainment Tonight says, "Yeah, I chose this beautiful blue dress. Yes, I chose." And then everybody stood up and started clapping. Like, it was like, that was kind of her acknowledgement of that. I thought that was a very classy way of doing it, clever way of doing it, without going full out on it. But she was like, "Yes, I have a choice to wear a blue dress," and everybody kind of laughed and clapped. It was like, there was a moment, and that night, television history was made. The first Black actress won Best Actress in a drama, the whole ever. They've never had a Black actress ever win
At the Daytime Emmys ever.
That's how
really.
That's how sad that is. But no, never. So she won. It was actually all the Emmys were first time winners.
Oh, that's fun.
That was a lot of fun. And because the other guy, the one who won lead actor, he had been on the show 35 years and won his first Emmy.
No,
he's in his 70s, and I cried. I cried when both of them won. I was like, "This is amazing!" And just like, it's wonderful. But there was all kinds of stuff happening. So it wasn't overly political, but it was political in some ways. And some of my interviews, which I'm still working on, so trying to get them all. I have like over 50 interviews. I'm trying to get them all out. And one of the actresses, my friend Cameron Grimes, said, "You know, I wanted to call all the actresses and say, don't come to the Emmys. This is boycott the Emmys, sit at home." And she goes, but then she said, that actually won't change anything. And number two, we should celebrate ourselves because we did do hard work and we can't let this stop us. And she's like, but she goes, but I felt helpless. And again, I said, I understand how you feel. I totally get you. Feel like just like, you know, excuse my language, fuck it. But then you have to kind of like think about it for a second and go, okay, we're celebrating the crew. We're celebrating, you know, craft services. We're celebrating the producers or writers. Like, there is something to be said about that. But I understand feeling helpless. For women, I understand that. I couldn't even imagine what whether you want an abortion or not doesn't matter. So that's just that a right has been taken away.
Right. I mean, I haven't really talked about it because when something big like this happens, I sit back, I take it in, and I just kind of let my trust that I will come through with some type of logical path, or I will have made, like a kind of an acceptance or not an accept, like what, I don't know exactly how to feel about it. I don't know what it's actually going to look like, and so, but the idea of, right, the idea of this massive change, like you said, it's a slippery slope. What's next? And that's always my concern when something like this is really pulled back. And I mean, really pulled back in a lot of ways. And so, women need a safe haven. I do believe in the right to choose, right? I am very grateful that I've never had to think about that decision. I obviously know other women who have, and it's a very, very personal, difficult choice. But choice is the word. And to think that in this day and age, James, like we've come so far, in communities that are based around people and love, and now a woman's right to choose has been scaled way back. And again, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We know
Right.
what they've said.
Right.
We don't know what states are going to do what, except,
Right.
there are signals, of course, which states are going to,
Right.
come down and say no more. But the idea that women don't have that ability, and there's this fear, this fear settles in. Fear is, I think, the second most powerful emotion next to love. And I think that fear is real. I think that when other people are deciding what you can and cannot do with your body because of how they feel about something, and they don't agree with you, they can still not agree, but I should still be able to make my own choice and do it safely.
Yeah.
And do it privately. These are very difficult choices for women to make. It's not like, at least the women that I know, it wasn't like,
Right.
I'll just go and,
Yeah.
No big deal. I'll be gone for a couple hours and
Right.
I'll be to work. No, these are life altering decisions that women have had to make. So I think that, the loss of that safe haven to make that choice, it speaks volumes about where we might be heading. And it certainly is a scary time, and I think that more than anything, the ability to take a pill, for people is going to become, their safe haven. Like, okay, well, I just won't even have to deal with it. I won't even know. I'll just take the morning after pill. And that way I'm never faced with, right, or hopefully not faced with having to make this decision. But that doesn't always work. And so, there's these struggles. And so I just, I'm so concerned about where we're heading. I believe in a slippery slope. Once they start changing and altering the power base, it doesn't normally stop there. It usually continues on to, okay, well, what else can we've got this mood, right?
Yes.
And we're in this environment where, there's now a conservative base in the Supreme Court. Let's test some other things that we want to see that we can change. And so this is a big one. It's interesting because I have always felt very, very strongly in favor of Roe v. Wade, very strongly. And it's basically, it's a human right for the female, more so than this undeveloped fetus, You know, I mean, the women were being killed and slaughtered, and if they had to go to this procedure, a lot of times they weren't able to have children when they were in a place to have a child. So for me, I always just felt like it was a base human right discussion. I know people will agree or disagree, and that's fine.
Right.
And until they take that right away. And we're here now. See, we were able to have the, I agree to disagree conversation, but now we're not, because all of a sudden, I think the scope is very limited and states can now say, we're out, like we're done. So I understand it's very emotional, but I've always said, and I've said it on the show, you have to continue to live your life. So I'm so grateful that, folks showed up to celebrate their industry. And, there's a lot of protesting going on. I know, have you seen any of that?
Yeah, I have. Well, the big one that went viral of Jodie Sweetin from Full House being pushed by the police.
Oh, okay.
Went viral. She was trying to lead people off the freeway, and they literally pushed her and knocked her down. Like it was horrible.
Well, people are angry. I mean, they're very, very angry.
Right. They are. And at the Emmys, it was funny because, like I said, they were all first-time winners. So that was very nice to see them. And, so we had some great, just genuine emotions. It was old home week. So
what is that?
I can see all these people we haven't seen, and all of us press who haven't seen each other in person in 3 years. We were all together. Your buddy Tony Moore was just 2 doors down from me.
Nice.
Tony Moore, yeah. Did I send you a picture of him? Did I send a picture of him? I sent a picture of him. You'll like his outfit. He looks very good. So all of us were kind of together again, and like James, like Tony, so and so, like all of us outlets were together. So that was kind of nice. It was good to see. I got to see Susan Lucci, which I was like, oh my God, Susan Lucci.
Oh my gosh.
She was beautiful. Oh my gosh. And Michael Bolton sang, and it was like,
really?
Yes, he was there. I was like, my childhood's like right here is my childhood. Like my teenage years was all like right here. So that portion, I had to meet so many people I've never met before, see folks I haven't seen in years. So a lot, but when we realized, I said, I feel like Sally Field, I know a lot of people in the business, and I because I worked very hard the last 7 years, I really have put myself out there. And some people on camera said, James, your presence online is so big. Like, I feel like I know you. And I was like, that's real. I almost started crying. I'm a big crybaby now. So I cried everything. But I was like, I'm always hoping. I do these videos. I put shit out all the time. I see some numbers, but I don't know the impact beyond that sometimes.
Right.
Until I meet somebody, or I get write up an article, or I don't know the big impact. I don't know what it is. So I got some feedback basically.
Yeah.
And because when the beginning of the red carpet, it's a little backstage tea. Before the stars come, the PR from all places come and walk down. It's so shady. They walk down. No, yes, no. They look at the car. They look at these. So these are on the ground in front of us. And so they go, oh, JLJ Media, yes. So no. So yes. So no. And so then Tony was like, oh yeah, because Tony only did for Days of Our Lives. He only does one show. I do all the others. So he would bring people down. Tony was so nice to bring people down to me and go, do you know James? I love James Lodge. I know James. Oh, yeah. And Tim was like, God, you know everybody. I said, I guess because I put in the hard work. That's the lesson. I'm always out there. I said, I built this from scratch 7 years ago. I said, I'm going to do this. 15 years ago, I started this whole process from scratch. And just to go to termination so people know who I am. Plus I'm one of the few black guys, and I'm loud, I'm big, and that kind of helps, his deep voice and all this stuff. So that kind of helps. But it was like, I have worked hard. So it was the Emmys realization for me that I have worked very hard to be where I am in this position in entertainment. My brother says to me, he goes, yeah, you took those 15 minutes, made them to 1,000. I said, I get that. That's kind of what I did. I just stretched and stretched. And to have Tammy with me, was like, I have a staff person who's representing JLJ Media. Like it was very emotional for me. So it was a very just big day for me. And I loved it. And I got a lot of great interviews. I'm still uploading them and still doing them, but I had a lot of great interviews, and it was a wonderful experience. But then I sit on the other side of it. anger, frustration,
Yeah.
fear, like you just said, fear. Of course, I'm obviously was for Roe v. Wade. Of course, I'm all for all kind of rights, and my take has always been there's so much surrounding all of this that's also not going to be touched, which is building self-esteem in boys and girls, teaching them right from wrong, good health care. There's a whole bunch of things that are not going to be touched on. They just think count abortion, that's it. Like it's bigger and broader than that. There's so many different things that go into, like you said, making a decision to have an abortion. There's so many different things, medical things are not. But even besides all of that, it's like still it's choice. We're in America, it's about choice. And you guys want certain choice about certain things, but not these other things. You want choice about masks. Yeah, I said it, but you don't want choice about this. See, I don't care. I'm controversial. I don't care. I say what I feel. I just think it's to me, I find it kind of fascinating as a person who kind of sits back and kind of like you kind of sit back and watch everything.
I get that. Yeah.
I watch it and I'm just going, that they're fighting this, but they're not really fighting that. Okay, I'm like, and the whole gun thing is happening too. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
There's shootings almost every day at this point, it seems like.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, but that's I keep my guns. But no, and again, I come from law enforcement. I have no problem with guns, but those AR-15s, I'm kind of like, that's a little different. So I feel like it's just for me, it's interesting watching this country choose what they want to keep, what they don't want to keep, what they want to overturn. It's very interesting. And Clarence Thomas is a Black man. I know a lot of Black folks are kind of just like, well, you know what it's like to be oppressed. We know what it's like to have no choice for things. So I'm like, no, conservatism is conservatism. It does. I've learned that it doesn't matter what gender, race, anything. It just doesn't.
It is.
It just doesn't. And that's what's scary. And I'm just telling people, they always say that famous quote, they came after this, nobody saying anything. It's one of those things where it's opening itself up to all kinds of things they can look into, so to speak. Let me ask
you another question about the Emmys. I want to go back to something because I know as a media guy, there's usually a question you ask every interviewee, right? So what was your one, like the what are you wearing kind of stuff? What did you have a question that you asked everybody who you talked to on the red carpet?
Well, here's what's funny. Normally we would do that. My co-host had the how are you going to celebrate if you win?
Okay.
Question. That was one for everybody was doing that one. Well, who are you here with?
Who are
you here
Mom.
With? Mom, my brother, was my girlfriend, or whatever. Yeah. But I didn't ask any. I didn't have one question this year. I didn't. I had some that I had if I wanted to fall back on. Mine usually are, how'd you prepare for today? See, if Roe v. Wade hadn't happened, I probably would have always asked that question. It was kind of like, so red carpet. So folks at home know what red carpets are about. They're usually quick. I was in quick, fast, and hurry. So there's people walking around with signs. Do you want? Yes. And they're trying to go bounce back to, and usually get between a minute and sometimes as low as a minute, up to maybe 5 minutes long. It's quick. It's harder because you have to like, what do you want to talk about in 5 minutes? Like you got to get something. So I'm always, if they're a nominee, the question always is, how are you feeling? That's the main question. Always, how are you feeling right now? Always. You try to get the nerves out of them. You try to get the nerves out of them. You're like, just how do you feel? Let's talk about it. That's a general question a lot of times. And then I usually ask, it's the same question, but just modified for each actor. I ask about their scene partner. Whoever the main scene partner was, how's like working with blah, blah, blah. That's an easy one to do too. I always have 3 or 4 questions in my pocket that are just easy to think about. But usually it's I do these, I'm very off the cuff, very in the moment. My girl, because one interview was it was just about our outfits. She was beautiful. She thought I was beautiful. The whole interview was about our outfits. That's all it was. And then we ran out of time. I was like, you're so beautiful. Her name is Naomi Matsuda. She's a beautiful Asian actress. She had this beautiful just outfit. She was just like royalty. And she thought my whole thing was like royalty. And we just gushed over each other for like 5 minutes. So that'll be out.
You made a new friend on the red carpet.
On the carpet. I love her. She's on Bold and Beautiful. But and then a couple of my friends came over in the business, and literally it was just us hanging out. It was just like, hey girl, what's going on, girl? My friend Krista Allen just came back from Monte Carlo. So we talking about Monte Carlo. So like she was going to ask me any questions. Like, no, I just love you. I love you too, Jay. That's all we did on the carpet. So if that's so that's a good thing. So usually, yeah, a lot of times we have like 2 or 3 questions that are like the ones you could ask everybody. But because of Roe v. Wade, it was almost kind of like, how'd you get ready this morning? Well, I was pissed because I was watching. They would tell us because I was watching the news. It's like, so it was a little different this year than normal red carpets. But yeah, red carpets usually me. It's always about the work or how you got ready, ready, and who you.
And that is work. Getting ready for it. It's a lot of work. Not that I would know, but I can imagine it's a lot of work.
Well, you've done. I mean, I know you haven't done a Hollywood thing, but I mean, we've had events that we've worked at together where you get to get dressed up, and there's always that night of like,
oh sure, yeah,
one night of the awards or whatever. You've been at award ceremonies. I mean,
oh yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there's events where you're being you're coming into a presidency in a volunteer capacity, like the State Insurance Association, there's speeches, yes. But, I think that for being on television, there is a heightened awareness of how do I look? None of my stuff has been televised. So,
that's true.
There's this heightened, I think, pressure to be your best on that day. And when you're feeling like crap and you're feeling angry and anxious, I'm just glad that everyone showed up, that there was a red carpet event. I mean, we need to return to life, normal life after what we've been through with COVID the last few years.
Yeah,
so
that's what it was. Yes.
I'm super grateful that there was a Daytime Emmy event, and everybody can see each other.
It's funny because because I am very tall.
Yes.
And I stand out. Like the last time I was there, I'm in a lot of people's videos, apparently. So they're interviewing somebody and they go, there's James Latour back there with that jacket. Like it happened to me before with the purple jacket. I remember I
love that purple jacket.
I know everybody. So I have to retire it now for a while and bring it back later. Like I have to maybe 4 or 5 years.
I agree. You don't want to overexpose.
No. So I got to put it away for a while. I love that jacket too. I put it away. But I noticed when I did the Emmys last time, their interviews, and I see my purple jacket down and my big bald head. I'm like, there's James. So apparently it happened again. We're like, that's James Lott Jr. back there. And then
with your hairdo now, you're taller.
Yes,
you're taller. Like literally taller with your hairdo.
I know. It's just like it's stupid. But yes, I was on lots of TV people's things. So I stood out. And so that you're right, on TV. And I think it's the camera never lies. I always say the camera never lies, and it picks up everything. And you can tell some of the actors.
Except if you do touch up on your Zoom, not that I would know, but there is a little touch up feature where you can blot out some of your T-zone, maybe a little bit of extra chin. That doesn't happen when you're on the red carpet though, does it, James?
No, it doesn't. And if it's a live event, it doesn't happen at all. Yeah, so you can see all the chins, all the breasts, everything just out there. It's all out there.
Yes.
And it's crazy. But it was I'm glad I went. It went by really fast. Tony and I went to dinner afterwards at Yard House.
Oh, nice.
That was very nice. I had a nice sunset margarita. It was really good.
It sounds lovely.
It was really good. And we just kind of debriefed and talked, and it was a really really good time. I'm glad I went. I had to get up the next morning because I had my post Emmy show with my co-host, and we did that on Saturday, and it's doing very well. We had a great time doing that.
Good.
Then I went to see our boy Flobo. It was his birthday. As we're recording this, it was his birthday yesterday.
Nice.
So we saw him do stand-up. So my first time seeing him do stand-up. I've never seen him do stand-up live.
How is he?
He's funny. I know some of his material because we're friends. He told me his material.
Sure.
But I know he was happy that me, my sister, my brother, we came to see him.
Nice.
In a nice little small venue in West Hollywood, a little small venue called the Oh My Ribs Theater. It's a 49-seat theater. It's got Oh My Ribs, it's called, on San Michael Boulevard. I'm gonna give a little shout out. Red Gorilla, give a little shout out. And we saw 3 comedians and the host of some comedy. Flobo was the headliner.
Nice.
And he was good. It was good. And I gave him his birthday present. It was good to see him and support one of your best friends. You support them.
Yeah. And you know, Les and I love comedy. So we would be happy to attend the next show and enjoy Flobo and just hang out and have fun. So just let us know.
Okay, I will. Yes, we'll get. Well, you might have to come out and see me do stand-up comedy. I am.
Oh my God, Mike! I will be there. What are you doing?
I did a mini set Saturday nights, kind of.
You did. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I got goosebumps.
I know,
for
it's
you.
weird. It's weird. Everybody says they come see me. They're like, James, we will come see you. We do stand-up. I stand-up comedy scares the S out of me.
Really?
It does, but. They're like, so Flobo challenged me. Say, go. You can do it, James. I'm challenging you. And I literally did a 5-minute set and everybody was laughing. And I what I'm realizing is I'm a storyteller. Yeah. I'm not a bumps. I'm not that kind of person. I'm more like, how about them Dodgers? I'm kidding. No, it was more like, because I first started with the whole thing of being old. And me and Xandra, my sister, we're all in our 50s. So we're talking, and one of the young guys goes, I stepped off my couch and hurt my foot. And I go, oh, that's nothing. It gets worse as you get older. I got out of bed and my things came out. So I told this whole story about getting old, everything hurting. That's why I said, I look young because I'm Black, but in the inside I'm old. So I was all these little kind of things, and they were laughing. And Flo goes, you just did a set right now. You just did like a 5-minute set. I go, I guess I just did. But so it was kind of weird. But it wasn't on stage, it was in a room. And I said, so they've challenged me. All my friends who are comedians have challenged me to do a stand-up. So when I do, I'll let you know.
Fully support you.
Yes.
That would be awesome. I can't wait. But you have to tell me.
Yes.
Right? When you're going.
Yes.
And I will be there.
Yes, I will tell you.
And I promise no heckling.
Please heckle me. I love hecklers. Let me laugh. The shadier the better. Makes me happy. It's always cooler in the shade. It's always cooler in the shade. But the best of it's something about to see. But Flobo and there was a girl before him. They both inspired me a little bit. They were just retelling their stories. And Flo was just talking about growing up with immigrant parents. Growing up, how his dad was when his dad was his age. He had 2 kids and a wife, and he's worried about Wi-Fi. There was always some funny stuff he would say. It was just kind of like how the differences of time, and it was funny. And being from New York versus Los Angeles, and so it was some funny scenes, just some funny stuff. We laughed, and the comedian before us, she was on a commercial. It was, oh my gosh, had me almost crying on myself. And she did the behind the scenes on the commercial, and it was hilarious. Just her talking about the behind. I worked on commercials, so I know how some of this stuff goes, so it made me laugh even harder. And it was some commercial for, at least it was a Diet Mountain Dew or something. It was just really crazy. And this whole hilarious story. And her whole joke was, this is not my actual regular stand-up routine. I just kind of came up with something right now. And we're like, oh, I don't know if she did it or not, I don't know if that was a gimmick or not, but it was really cute. And she was good. So it was a nice night out for us old folks, because it was at 9:00. We're like, 9:00? We're past our bedtime. We're like 9:00. It was only an hour long. It was done by 10:15. We hung out with Flobo a little bit afterwards and chit-chatted, gave his presents. He opened his presents and hung out and hugged. And we went to KFC and got some chicken and then went home.
Yummy. Can't eat it anymore. It's not gluten-free.
It's not good for you, period, but it's good.
It's so funny you say that. My dad loved Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so his doctor said, you need to lose weight. And he said, well, I love fried chicken and I really like Kentucky Fried Chicken. And he says, I learned they don't fry it, they air fry it. And the doctor looked at me, he says, I don't care how they fry it, you can't eat it. But my dad was clutching on to hope that this air frying thing, as opposed to oil-based frying, was going to be healthier and he could still have his Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, didn't work out for him.
As I look at my probiotics right now, I'm like,
yes, yeah, those are important. We need our healthy bacteria, probiotic stuff.
Yes.
So my birthday is next
I
week.
know.
Yeah. So Les keeps saying, well, what do you want to do for your birthday, babe? And I'm like, nothing. I just want to quietly, barbecue something.
I'll blame you.
No big deal.
I'll blame you.
Yeah, 53, as you know.
I'm that age already.
My older friend.
Yes, not for too long. Welcome to our age. Welcome to our age. The great age.
So
me, Jennifer Aniston,
yes,
J-Lo.
We're all company.
Mariah Carey. We're all the same age. I love it.
Yeah. So Friday, I will be 53 years old. I'm grateful because the alternative really sucks.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's a funny. I was telling my little stuff. I mean, I make jokes for being older and all this stuff, but I am not everybody makes it. We know that you and I both know everybody makes it. And every time I wake up, I get a chance to do something new. I get the opportunity, something new is there for both of us. It's something, and we're doing this, and it's something that's fun. We have to do this in our 50s. I just, you're working from home. We're doing stuff that we never imagined growing up. There was nothing like this. There was nothing that wouldn't exist. So we're actually living lives that we never even imagined. We might as well be the Jetsons. We're doing something totally foreign. Like I look at it like, you know what I mean? Like it's just so, like I'm doing stuff. Like I'm in Hollywood. I'm working from home. We have computers. Like all this stuff. We were kids. This was not anything. We didn't grow up to be this.
No.
Kind of that. You run an agency. Like that was when you were a kid. That wasn't like something you thought. But now you're working from home. That you have a home. You have a husband. You have a home.
Have a home. Yeah.
We're very fortunate. I mean, I think I just. I make jokes for getting older, but I am so glad I'm here and,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the aches and pains, folks, people our age and older, they get it. It's real. Like, I don't know what the life clock, had planned out, but there's a certain age where you just wake up and you move and you're like, oh God, so my goal after I turned 53, I need to start stretching. I think a lot of my issues is I sit a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't do it. We walk the dog and all that's great, but I need to stretch. I think that's so maybe yoga, light, very intermediate, like I'm a novice, no pretzel. I don't know about the upside down dog thing. I'll try it because that's, a good spirit. But yeah. So I think, James, I bought a mat. I think I'm going to put the mat to use and start taking some classes at the local gym. So,
well, it's funny you say that because I used to do yoga. I did yoga before the pandemic. That's what I did. I did Kundalini. I did where it was very presentational.
Sounds like a pasta.
I know that sounds good. Some Kundalini, please, Alfredo. But it was very presentational, opposed to very much like a presenting to the sun. It was very, and they're right. Yoga really isn't about your back. I always thought about my back and stuff. It's more about your legs and your arms. So that's the part where you're like, okay, this hurts. But your back is fine most of the time. And I did like it. I have yoga mat stuff. I thought about that recently too. Like maybe I need to start stretching more too, because I'm walking a lot more. Good. And I'm trying to still walk. I haven't gained any weight the last 3 months. It's just been steady. So I'll take that. That's fine. As long as I'm not gaining. I haven't lost, but I haven't gained. So I think the amount that I'm walking is helping, but I need to walk more. Like I've been trying to walk a little bit every day. Like after I have you, then I have another show, and then I'll be done for the day in terms of timed content. So I can always do later. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna go for a walk and just kind of stretch my legs and like just kind of get that. Because you're right. I think it's about because and I drink lots of water, which also helps with your bones. And I don't drink milk, but I take vitamins. So I have vitamin D and stuff. So I know but literally I wake up with a pain somewhere almost every day. Like it could be a little one, or a big one. Like it's real. It's real.
And your younger friends are going to be like, and we can laugh back because you know what? You're going to catch up at some point.
Exactly. Laugh now. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. If you're lucky, it's going to happen.
If you're lucky. You will catch up.
Lucky, you'll catch up. That's the thing. And I'm like, sure. It's tough. But I again, I think of my brother Max, who was a year older than me, and he didn't make it. He made it to 47, and that was it. And I have other friends who didn't make it, who died last year, who didn't make it. And I'm just like, Yeah, I'm here still. I got things I gotta do. I gotta do what I can to stay here at least as long as I can.
Yeah.
It's whatever it is. But I think it's nature, walking, being outside, taking my vitamins, try to eat halfway decent. I don't eat crazy or anything, but I just eat halfway decent. We should be okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
think so.
I understand a quiet birthday. I don't understand. I remember I left. Remember, I left town on my own birthday, and it was the best decision I made.
Good. And Catalina Island is beautiful. So you went to a beautiful place.
Yes.
To kind of reset.
But it's one of those things that sometimes I want to be around a big group of people. I wanted the big thing, and then sometimes I didn't.
Yeah.
And 53 is not a milestone birthday of any sort, so it's not like it's 55 or 60 or like that. It's like or 50. It's not that. So I was like, yeah, I feel comfortable going off somewhere and said, I'll celebrate with you later. If you want to have dinner or something, I've done that. But I'm like, yeah, on my own, it's like it's fine. I don't know. We get older. This thing, what your wants change.
Yes, absolutely. I can attest to that.
There you go. Yeah. They do. They totally change. They do.
Yeah, they do. And I'm finding more. I want peace, and I want to have fun.
Right.
If I look at going somewhere or being with people, is it going to be fun, enjoyable? I'm not doing things anymore just for the sake of doing it. So I'm becoming a little bit more vested in how I spend my time, probably is a good way of saying it, as opposed to just spending time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, I always choose who I want to hang out with. I'm very careful and just say, well, these are my 10 friends. We'll just have them all come. Now I'm like, well, that 10, which one am I going to really have a good time with? There'll be no drama.
Right.
That's what I choose more now. I go, these 5 are good. Okay, I'm good. I don't need the entourage anymore. These 5, I know we'll have fun. There'll be no drama. They'll be all about me, as it should be. It's my birthday. They know what to do. And it'll be fine. Seriously, I don't want drama on my birthday. I don't want craziness on my birthday. I don't want fun craziness. Yeah, I don't want craziness on my birthday and crazy drama on my birthday. I just don't. I get that any day of the week. I don't want that on my birthday. I was like, so that's how my mom's birthday is on the 29th. So we're celebrating on Saturday, her birthday. The kids are taking her out.
Nice.
And then my niece Haley, she's the first also. I love you Cancerians. I said Flobo, you guys, all you crabs.
Yeah. We are. We do.
Uh-huh.
We have a little bit of crabbiness in us, but usually we're very good people. We're very sensitive. Some of us more than others.
Yes, Cancer. Yes, you guys can be. Yes.
Yeah, can be a little sensitive, but mostly I think it's a really good sign. So.
Yeah. I cancer. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't like cancer. I like.
Oh no, you're like, so yeah, I don't like cancer. I like cancers.
I'm just
not. The bell for that one. Sorry, yeah, we don't fuck cancer.
Yeah.
And, my mother is 2 years cancer free. So
nice. Yes,
breast
very
cancer,
good.
2 years. She got breast cancer during COVID, and it got it all out. So she is so far cancer free. Speaking of cancer, a cancer who had cancer. So
right.
She's a cancer. She had cancer. That was always her thing. I like cancer. But they got all that. The lumpectomy got everything out. And so far, her mammograms, everything's coming back. Good. Check those titties, ladies.
Yeah, every year it's very important. And for women who have dense breasts, get the ultrasound. Spring for the extra ultrasound. It can save your life.
So seriously, they caught my mother was stage 1, so they caught it early. They were very fortunate. Because she would get her mammogram. She goes, I know they're uncomfortable and the whole thing, because she's a larger breasted woman.
Oh.
They're not fun. They're not fun. Sorry, kids, they're not fun.
They're not fun.
But you need to, just in case. And whether you have it in your family or don't, it's just one of those things still. Same with men, check those balls. Testicular cancer is a major thing too. Get them checked. You feel anything strange down there, go get it checked. Yes. Get it checked. It's very... You don't want things to spread. That's the problem with a lot of cancers. They spread all the body. They spread.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And that's the part of our PSA.
Exactly. It's like mammogram, testicular checks. That's the reason. I mean, I think it's very important. And you have a
We're
right
serving our community, James.
Yes, we are. We're always serving our communities out there, all our various communities out there. And that's where we'll end it. We've done it. This is our special hour-long show. I'm not going to cut it up. This is our hour-long show. I am James. Oh, yes.
And I am Melissa.
Oh, yes. And it's this Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. Every Monday, you guys have been so wonderful to us. As we're recording this, our today's episode that's out today is with Tony Moore, our friend, and he was on a show called Bullshit. If you haven't seen that, he got recognized on the red carpet with that. He goes, "Didn't I see you on a show?" These actors are like, "Yes, he was on a show." And by the time this airs, well, actually, it won't be by the time this airs. Well, he's going to be on another show. I can't say what it is. A big major show coming up in July.
Nice.
He will be seen in that. So when I get a chance to tell you guys that, we'll tell you. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
But you guys, that's a conversation I can't have on camera. But I just want you to notice. Follow him at Lounging with Tony everywhere. And we're on JLJ Media, my online media network. Thank you so much. I have all kinds of shows from Star Wars, the soap operas, Hallmark Channel, life coaching, medical, insurance, everything. So check us out, JLJ Media, on all streaming services, on all audio platforms, JLJ Media YouTube. We'll see you next time.